All right, welcome back, TechEd North America 2010. Hi, gentlemen.
2012.
So 2012.
It's been a long week already.
It's been a long week. I've gotten in my time machine and gone back, just so I don't have to deal with it again.
Windows 7, brand new, just shipped to
We're very happy with that release.
So we have the entire, well, part of the crew of folks that have been here for Channel 9 Live here all at TechEd. We've got Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
Got Larry.
Hey.
Everybody knows Rick down there.
How long are you staying?
Mark's still talking, so he hasn't come back yet. So if Racinovich shows up, then I know I'm off the table. So.
Exactly.
All right.
So when Mark shows up, you'll be leaving?
You got it.
All right, awesome, awesome. So it's the wrap-up show.
This is our wrap-up show.
It's time to finish Channel 9 Live and head on out for another year. However, folks at home, make sure you want to stay tuned. System Center 2012 Configuration Manager, Deployment and Infrastructure Technical Overview with Brian Keller.
Me?
But not you, Brian Keller, as they're making the announcement just as we're live.
That's
awesome.
That's good planning.
That's absolutely
You can
great
tell
planning.
I'm up here and not back there doing the stuff I'm supposed to be doing.
Exactly. No, it's going to be with the other Brian Keller.
B-R-Y-A-N Keller.
Yes, the other B-R-Y-A-N Keller, and Wally Mead, actually.
Oh, nice.
So, who is a guru for my dev friends here in the System Center world, especially around Configuration Manager. So that's coming up next. You want to stick around for that? Let's wrap it up. Let's talk a little bit about the keynote.
Day one keynote, Jason Zander, Satya Nadella. Yeah, it was a lot of really good, just end-to-end coverage of, well, you know, the cloud, obviously, private cloud, public cloud, System Center management. I'm not a System Center guy, so I don't know quite what was new in this keynote, but maybe you can give us the highlight from your perspective.
You know, from my perspective, the System Center management piece was actually, it was App Controller.
App Controller.
Yeah, System Center App Controller. And what we did is we actually, in the keynote, what they did is they took a running virtual machine that was running within my private cloud, running on premises, and with System Center 2012 App Controller, did a right click, moved it up to Windows Azure.
Wow.
Because we talked about the new Azure infrastructure as a service.
Yes,
correct.
Exactly. Yeah. So is that using like the live migration VM stuff that you guys introduced in Windows Server?
No, it doesn't do a live migration, because actually what we do is we actually shut down that virtual machine and package it up to deploy up, and it doesn't happen seamlessly, like without losing packets, moving it from obviously your premises. That virtual machine could be 20, 30, 40 gig or bigger up to the cloud. That takes a bit of time, but it actually executes the process, so you're not having to go through a bunch of portals and a bunch of different things.
But that's exciting still. That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And even the new persistent VM role is kind of a big deal. And the ability to have infrastructure as a service.
Right.
The ability for me to run Active Directory, SharePoint, SQL Server up into Windows Azure. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit about a week ago Thursday, when it actually launched, but we really showed some really cool stuff in the keynote there.
And there's PowerShell for all that stuff, right, Rick?
PowerShell for sure, but to me what stole the show was the sheer scale, speed, and enormous size capabilities you can now do with virtual machine guests. So you've got IOPS.
What does that mean? I'm sorry, I'm a dev guy. What is an IOP?
Just throughput and performance. The fact you now are, as Jeff Woolsey said, basically, we went after the unvirtualizable, for an interesting word, unvirtualizable workloads. Workloads
that you wouldn't have even fathomed virtualizing because
you're worried about throughput to the disk or throughput to the memory, that sort of stuff. We've eliminated those barriers with Hyper-V, the next generation that's inside Hyper-V 2012.
And are you using virtual disks or are you using pass-through disks for that architecture?
And this one, it was simply showing that you could actually have HBAs inside the host machine that could then be visible and exposed to the guests, and then those would then give you connectivity from the guests directly into your SAN infrastructure. In this case, it was a series of solid-state disks, and they were just simply thrashing and thrashing and thrashing those disks, see how many hundreds of thousands of IOPS they got for performance, and they got it up to 985 and change. And then I had Jeff on earlier today in the live stream basically saying, well, you know, we've had it up over 1 million, but it's just the disks that we were using were actually like 3 years old, and solid state drives from 3 years ago just can't get the same kind of performance you can get now out of them. So to me, that's just mind-blowing, the stuff you can now do inside virtualization.
Well, that explains why it was particularly hot backstage at the TechEd keynote. That's where I was at. I was like, why is it? I know it's Orlando, but come on, let's turn on the air conditioning.
You got it.
So what else?
So one of the things I love and right on tagging onto the back of the Windows Server 2012 stuff. 10 gig in 10 seconds, baby.
Wow.
Moving a 10 gig file, copying and pasting, 10 seconds.
What, from where to where?
So it was from a virtual machine out to I believe it was another virtual machine or
it was basically demonstrating the ability to have ODX transfer, offload data transfer from a SAN environment that you do not take a penalty or a hit on CPU performance, so your server's not bogged down, on disk controller, or disk controller performance, and in 10 gig, 10 seconds, unbelievable file transfer. And then Woolsey also mentioned that you've got that same technology, because it's baked into the operating system, applies to how file servers work and applied to the rest of the server operating system. It's not just something unique to virtualization, it's across the platform as a whole, so everyone can leverage that technology.
Wow. And I don't think they talked about this in the keynote, but one of the new features in Windows Server 2012 that I just learned about is the ability for you to look across your entire disk layout and say, hey, I have 2 files that are the same, or two chunks of this file that are changed. I don't know what you call that.
Dedupes.
Dedupes. That's awesome. That's killer.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, file deduplication. No more wondering how many copies of Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time you've got on your hard drives, Larry.
So many, it's hard to keep track of them.
Exactly.
But a couple different mixes in there too. But,
oh, okay, yeah. But if the files are exactly the same, you don't have to have multiple.
You don't need
They're all right there.
Yeah.
They're all right there. What about for you, Brett? You were backstage at the keynote.
I was backstage.
What were you doing?
Yep, I was working on Jason Xander's demos. Not the one that didn't work exactly, but the ones that did work. Just want to make that clear. We had a little networking glitch. We were trying to show an ARM device and how you can deploy straight from Visual Studio to the ARM device. And unfortunately, now I know who was filling up the network. Thank you very much, System Center and server guys.
Hey,
but
offload transfer. It wasn't the same network.
Everything worked in rehearsals. But we've got a Channel 9 video if you want to check out deploying from Visual Studio straight to ARM devices. It works in the Channel 9 video. And then the next thing that we showed was how Light Switch in Visual Studio can now output HTML5 applications. And so previously Light Switch was targeted at Silverlight. You can continue to target Silverlight, but Silverlight isn't everywhere. It's not on my iPad, for example. I don't have an iPad, but it's not on your iPad. And so now you can build HTML5 applications that target that. I'm calling you out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then the other thing that we did in the DevOps space, and getting devs and operations to talk to one another, is you can now take your Visual Studio web performance tests straight from Visual Studio, hand those off as part of your application deployment to the operations team, and then you probably today do some basic ping monitoring, is this server up, that kind of thing. But ping tests don't necessarily tell me, is it performing correctly?
Right.
The web performance tests that I've already written in Visual Studio for my dev test environments have that kind of synthetic understanding of the application. And so you can set those up and you can load those into a new service that we're making available as part of System Center 2012 SP1 called Global Service Monitor. So you upload those web performance tests, you put them at 15 different endpoints around the world if you want to, and then we'll do outside-in monitoring of your application. And we showed how you can start getting an error maybe in London that doesn't surface anywhere else in the world, and then you can use IntelliTrace running on the application performance monitoring part of System Center to then surface that issue for development so they can see exactly what's going on.
So we don't have any more of this. Our users call IT and go, this isn't working. We call you and say, your stuff's not working. We pinged it, and you call us back and say, it's not our problem.
Yeah, we'll have to find other stuff to fight about, but
Which came first, the IT pro or the developer?
Oh, man.
More at 11. So that was kind of, some of the major announcements in the keynote. So again, Azure, Windows Server 2012
Windows on thumb drive, that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, and so, we talked about that, the USB to go functionality in Windows 8, which was kind of cool.
I missed this. What is this?
So it's the ability for me to actually put a version of Windows 8 on a USB stick.
Okay.
And basically run a system from it.
I'm running it. I'm not installing it, but I'm running it.
No, you are running it, not just installing. So it's pretty slick.
Wow.
Yeah, that was shown in the Day 2 keynote today.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Seen any good sessions? Heard any top sessions? Anything going on? The buzz?
I heard good stuff on the Twitter this morning.
On the Twitters?
From Mr. Snover, actually, calling out Mark Rusinovich, saying, sorry to hear that you've fallen down the stack rank of like 5th and 9th place. Well, Jeffrey Snover's was at the top of the list still, so that was kind of interesting.
Was that PowerShell? What was he talking about?
He was doing a PowerShell crash or deep dive, I do believe it was. It's actually being repeated later on this week for those of you that are actually here. and he's got a perfect 4.0 score.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's his PowerShell crash course.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was brilliant because he's like, every one of my Twitter followers, please send Mark condolences.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were just going and going and going.
So PowerShell with Windows Server 2012, I get IntelliTrace now, right?
Yes. Oh, I demonstrated that actually inside the foundation session earlier on, and for a fat finger typist like myself,
yep.
You know, you guys have been used to IntelliTrace for a long time.
Oh, sorry, I said IntelliTrace. I meant IntelliSense. Yes, IntelliSense.
So you guys are used to that for a very long time. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Wait, it's telling me what to actually type. So to me, I love it.
That's killer.
Absolutely love it.
That's killer. Now, Larry, what would you say you do here exactly?
Well, I do the live part of this. So I didn't get to watch much of the keynote. I saw it with the volume down, and we do the live broadcast here from the Channel 9 booth. So we've got Golnaz, Cynthia Bishop, Josen, and Andres. Thank you to all you guys, James, everyone here.
Outstanding.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Larry, who's usually the voice in my head
I
here.
am the one who talks to Joey. So when you see him sitting here and he starts laughing, I'm telling him all kinds of funny jokes and everything.
It's amazing. Yeah, I can't repeat any of them actually on camera.
Please don't. Yeah, not live.
No, not live. I actually want to keep my job. Can you talk a little bit about some of the other cool things that we had going on? Got boxing bots.
Yeah, we had a Coding for Fun team here. So we had Rick Barraza, Clint Ruckus. They had the Project Detroit, so you might have seen that on West Coast Customs. It's a new Mustang with an old Mustang body on it and a lot of technology wrapped throughout. So it's got some slate screens in the front. It's got a back window that you can put all kinds of vulgar messages to the people behind you.
Nice.
Or, hey, I'll be back at 8 to pick you up. And
Xbox 360 built in.
Xbox.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then they've got the boxing bots, which is probably one of the more dangerous things that Clint Ruckus has done yet.
And he's done a lot of dangerous things.
And yeah, that's saying a lot there too. So these are two huge metal robots that just pound each other with compressed air.
And it's powered by Kinect, so you're standing
Kinect,
there
so
like doing this,
real
right?
steel kind of really boxing and doing some rock'em sock'em robots with.
And we've had attendees just lined up all week to try that stuff out.
Yeah, they're very cool, very heavy. We pushed a couple of them across campus. It's an amazing piece of hardware.
And
you know the odyssey? Can I tell you this? Sit in your office. Yeah. And all of a sudden you hear this motorized engine come driving by your office.
Yeah, and there's Clint hanging off the back of it driving.
With an Xbox controller. So it's like a half track is going down the hallway.
You know what I'm terrified of is I'm going to be there late one night, and I know Clint usually works, is I'm going to hear that, and I'm going to turn around, and one of those bots is going to be driving by. I'm going to go stick my head out the window to look for Clint.
Into him at night.
And Clint won't be there.
He's at home, just, terminal in.
Judgment Day.
Then else I look down the hallway and he's laying there.
Jeez.
Nice. Random bots. We have just a few more minutes left. What else is going on here at TechEd that has you guys interested? You're taking a look around some of the various things that we've got going on. I know they're doing some really cool application stuff for building Windows 8 applications.
Yeah, we're showing how you can build applications for Visual Studio and push those out to your Metro style marketplace, so you can start populating the marketplace out there. And of course, we've got some really great tooling. One of the things that I showed that a lot of people still haven't seen yet is the fact that you can use our manual testing tools for a Windows 8 slate. So you can be running Microsoft Test Manager and you can have your slate open up over here. You can test your application, and then if I find a bug, I can file that bug and it automatically captures a video recording, audio, screenshots, whatever I was doing. So I don't have to describe to you like, well, Joey, I clicked here, then I tapped and I did a 3-finger drag and it crashed your application. Like, I actually just have a video and you can see exactly what's going on. So the tooling is top notch. So now we're excited to see what people are actually going to go out and build and fill the marketplace with.
That's very, very cool. That's very cool. And I know that folks here, and we talked about it a little bit on the Countdown show, actually go in, take their applications, have it looked over, submit to the store, right here at TechEd.
Yeah, and you can do certifications here this week as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of stuff going around in certification.
I've signed up for the 71-410 exam for Windows
the old
Server
71-410.
410.
Yeah.
Watch out for the 71-410.
Wow.
I'm running that
on
when they're on Wednesday. And actually, you don't even have to be a TechEd to be able to take them. You can take them at any Prometric testing center. You have to pay for them if you're not at TechEd. Here they're provided for free up until the release date. So there's a couple of different free exams that are out there. MSL website has details of which ones they are.
Cool.
I'll let you know how the 71410 goes.
Yeah.
Nice.
We've got a lot of hands-on labs over in the hands-on lab area.
Yep.
I actually, just to put in my own plug here, I just shipped all of my hands-on labs and my virtual machine to the web. So if you go to my blog, that's Brian Keller over on MSDN, you can download my virtual machine, 18 hands-on labs. So if you don't get a chance to try them out here at TechEd this week, you know, you can go back and party on at home.
Yeah,
So.
it's the same thing with Windows Azure Labs.
Oh, nice.
So the Windows Azure Labs that we just announced the spring release, and so that includes infrastructure as a service, virtual networking, PowerShell, and also some of the development aspects of Windows Azure, which I know absolutely nothing about.
Sure.
I'm good at deploying applications, though.
Yeah.
I can deploy and manage them all day long.
Well, you actually just reminded me of another cool thing that we announced last week, I guess it is now. We actually partnered with the Azure team within my team, the Team Foundation server team. So we've had the Team Foundation service hosted online for a while now, and that is a service that you can use to do source control, work item tracking, all that good stuff that you know about Team Foundation server. Well, now you can actually link that back to your Azure development and deployment area, so that I can make a change over here and say build that, and then once you're done building, push it out to your live Azure website. So it's really, really nice.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So big plans for the rest of the week. We got a minute left.
Party Thursday.
I want to track down one of the cars, see if I can drive it home.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Are they letting anyone drive the Project Detroit car at all?
Maybe Clint. I think Denise pulled it in.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
It's drive laps around.
It's got a
it.
nice muffler.
I think Rick
Yeah,
wants
it's
to
a
do
nice
donuts.
car.
I'm not quite sure that that's
Nice.
going to happen. You're going to get in a helicopter.
I might go do a helicopter tomorrow. So we're done today. We've got a couple of shoots that we're doing tomorrow, and then it's helicopter time.
Or are you just going to be certified to
There's
fly
a helicopter place down the street. We'll go see what happens.
Nice. Well,
Shoot a 9 video. Who knows?
Larry, it's nice knowing you.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into one of those helicopters. That just about does it for us here at TechEd North America 2012. We're going to do this all again in like 2 weeks.
In Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam.
That's right.
So for those of you who are there, stick around, stay tuned. We've got more Taste of TechEd coming to you. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Taste of TechEd again all day long. That's it for us. Nas, take us out.
Now for something completely different. 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 Now for